Festival. It's the 30th anniversary of the most beautiful festival here at Epcot.
Now, in a lot of these festival videos, you're going to be seeing loads and loads of food reviews. And don't worry, we will be doing some of that today. Our goal today is to show you how to get the absolute most out of this festival. So if you only have one day to visit Epcot and you happen to be here during the festival, we're going to show you how to do the rides, we're going to show you how to eat the eats, and do all of the other fun activities in between. Do keep in mind that when you are planning your strategy for visiting Epcot during the festival, everyone's strategy is going to look a little bit different. Some people like to rope drop, some people don't. We are kind of sort of doing rope drop today, but we're not doing it in the typical sense. We're not using Lightning Lane Multipass today, so we are planning on trying to get on all of the rides, so don't you worry, but we are actually using rope drop to go do something that's not an attraction. If you are a Disney Resort guest, I do highly encourage you doing rope drop for early entry. That's that 30 extra minutes that you get before the park opens. This is an excellent time to do things like Guardians or head over to Frozen or even do Remy. One of those big three is a good use of that time. Since we're locals, we don't really get to take advantage of early entry, so we decided to kind of mix things up and do things a little different. We're headed over to the UK Pavilion to go do our first stop.
Before we rope drop though, it wouldn't be a Kayla and Mark Allen video without, of course, starting our day with a fun fact. Believe it or not, Flower and Garden, as I mentioned earlier, this is the 30th anniversary, and Flower and Garden was the very first festival to be offered here at Epcot. It started April 29th, 1994, almost exactly a year after I was born, if you want to do the math.
Mirror selfie. Ooh, like monorail. Rope dropping the important stuff. Can we do the 5 o'clock tour, please? We are rope dropping the important things this morning. So there's a really special free guided tour that they do during this festival in the Tea Garden at the UK Pavilion. This does fill up like super fast. So if you are wanting to do this, you need to come and do this like first thing in the morning. I know it's a little bit of like a jaunt over here, but they only have 3 tours. So if you miss it, they're full for the day. They do have a self-guided version that you can do if they do end up filling up, but we've never done the guided one, so we really wanted to do that today. We're gonna talk a little bit more about what all this entails a little bit later, but just know this is what we were hitting up first. Now we are gonna go ride a ride. We're definitely gonna be doing a little bit of like back and forth walking today, but the goal is to try and do as much as possible. Let's go. So looking at wait times, it does look like we're doing pretty good. So Soarin right now is 10 minutes, which is where we're headed first. Our goal is to kind of hit up a lot of those attractions in like the Imagination Pavilion, the Seas and the Land Pavilion. I know that's not like probably a normal strategy, but we actually like to ride some of those more popular rides later in the day, and we are planning on doing a reverse rope drop strategy this evening, which again, we'll talk more about later.
If you only have like one day in the park, you can either save money or you can save time. You can't really save both. So we are prioritizing saving money. That way we can boost our food budget for this afternoon a little bit more and not have to spend that money on Lightning Lane.
Today is a Saturday, so I do anticipate crowds being pretty busy, especially since it's the first weekend of the festival. So it really is going to be putting our strategy and park knowledge to the test to make sure we can get everything done.
If you are coming anytime during Flower and Garden, make sure you pre-game with some allergy medicine. I can't stress that enough. Everything is in full bloom besides all the beautiful flowers, but the pollen in Orlando right now is literally insane. Our car is covered in a film of green pollen, and I had a severe allergy attack earlier this week. We
were supposed to film this video on opening day on Wednesday, but Mark Allen was literally dying. His face looked like a balloon. It was pretty bad, so that's why we're here today, which is okay.
That was
a little sweaty now. Luckily, it's a really nice morning, but it is 9:23 and we have officially walked into line. It says a 15-minute wait, which usually is what I consider a walk-on for this attraction because you're usually just waiting for the show in front of you to finish. So this hopefully shouldn't be super long.
Soarin to tower. We are ready for takeoff.
Well, we timed that well. This is definitely a much longer than 15-minute line now. We're doing Living with the Land because they do a fun little overlay for the festival. It's not as like hardcore as what they do for Festival of the Holidays, but they have like kind of like a princess overlay. It's very, very cute. So we're gonna go check that out. Now it's time to do our first like official festival thing of the day. We're gonna go head to the Butterfly Garden. Now the Butterfly Garden is open for most of the day. However, we always notice that when we do it like later in the day, it is so hot in there because there's just no like airflow. So we're gonna do it in the morning when A, hopefully it's less people-y, and B, it's a lot cooler. Maybe the butterflies will be a little more active too.
My goal is to have one land on me.
We'll see if that happens.
I have very low expectations.
Yeah, that was way more enjoyable to do earlier in the morning. I think we've only ever done it in the afternoon, and it's always like so swamped and so hot in there. Even this morning, I would say it was a little stuffy, and we got to see some pretty butterflies.
Yeah, and the nice thing throughout the season is that more and more butterflies will be in there as the cocoons hatch. Is that? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember my second grade butterfly history.
I love that we even got to see a little caterpillar. That was cool.
Yeah, I've never seen the caterpillars
He was
before.
a fat little guy.
He was a very hungry caterpillar.
He will be a beautiful butterfly here in a few weeks. So that was fun. It is now 10:30, so we're still doing pretty good. I think we're gonna go hit up Figment because that looks like there's no line. So we're gonna go hit that up and then hit the Seas. And then I think it's time for some food.
The nice thing about this strategy is we're kind of doing, if you're familiar with like the old neighborhoods of Epcot, Future World, basically the front half of the park, we're kind of knocking a lot of that out in the morning now before these wait times will get higher and higher throughout the rest of the day. And then once World Showcase and all the booths open at 11, we're kind of gonna work our way that way.
Our plans are mildly foiled. So Figment just went down. So I think we're gonna kind of go in the exit and see if Figment is out. Maybe go say hi to him because we've never met Figment before.
In this case, if for some reason maybe you want to meet Figment, but maybe not ride the ride for, I don't know why you would want to do that, but because I love Figment, you can kind of go off to the side like we're doing and go in the exit. The nice thing is that since the ride is down, there's no one in here. And I'm pretty sure Figment is meeting.
Hi, Figment! Hello! Are you so excited for Flower and Garden Festival?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited.
Oh my gosh. Have you been smelling all the beautiful flowers? Even better, they gave us this super cute little autograph card. I love that. Sometimes when you have things that don't go totally according to plan, sometimes they can actually make things even better. Have those more magical moments. We were literally the only people in line for Figment, so that was great. Okay, let's go around the corner, see if Figment came back up. If not, we're gonna head over to the Seas Pavilion.
I doubt it. It looked like they were evacuating the line, so I have a feeling that they're thinking it might be down for a little bit.
Who knows? Yep, still closed. That's okay. Let's go do the Seas and then we'll come back. The line did just go up to 20 minutes. However, I think we are still gonna do it because as of right now, they've been closing the Seas Pavilion at 7 o'clock at night. Normally I would do this in the evening when the line isn't as long, but it will not be open later. So we are gonna go ahead and go in and catch this now. Hopefully it won't actually be a 20-minute wait, but we'll see. Mark Allen's starting his timer now. Well, strike that. That line was to the door, which means that line's probably going to be closer to like an hour. We're not doing that. So I think it's time to go eat some food and check out CommuniCore. And then maybe after that, we will kind of check and see the status of Figment and Nemo. And if worse comes to worse, we can always try and come back and ride those later in the day. It's good to have a plan, but it's also a good idea to be able to be flexible and kind of have some backup ideas and have some buffer time later in your day for when things like this happen and you kind of got to go off the rails a little bit. Luckily, the attractions that we have not done yet are ones that have very, 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 very short waits later in the day, so we should still be a-okay. So now it's time to hit up CommuniCore Hall. So they have redecorated it for this festival. It's kind of an homage to like how they create the different character topiaries around the park. So there's going to be some fun information in there, fun flowers, of course. And there's even a festival booth in here that I think we're going to try too. Okay, Mark Allen, what's your first thoughts?
It's getting there. Like, it's really pretty. I like all the actual real plants in here. Still not as good as what they had for Festival of the Arts with the Disney on Broadway exhibit things that they had in here. They're working on it. It's better than like what they had for Festival of the Holidays or even like past festivals. So I do appreciate that.
First dishes of the festival, we went inside of CommuniCore Hall to Farmer's Feast. Now, what's really unique about the menu at this particular booth is that it rotates throughout the festival. So this is the early bloom menu that goes from March 5th to April 5th, and then it will change to the springtime menu from April 6th to May 3rd, and then finally the summer solstice menu from May 4th to June 2nd. So we got the scallop, which Mark Allen's a little nervous but also curious to try.
It has like a spring pea risotto. That sounded really good to me, and it looks beautiful. It truly does.
We've heard some good things.
I just don't like seafood, so I'm skeptical.
We'll see. It's okay. If he doesn't like it, I'll eat it.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
It'll be great. Ding. You didn't even give it a try.
I don't like the scallop.
That's good.
I just don't like seafood. Let me just try the risotto.
This is delicious. It's so buttery, and the lemony kind of taste to it is so nice.
That risotto is really good.
It's a very light and refreshing. And honestly, it almost has a little bit of like a cheesy flavor to it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
The risotto is really good.
I think if you like scallops, if you like seafood, this is a delicious one to get. Now, our goal today is to show you like the best food to get for $100. Our budget is $100. We do want to go ahead and say thank you to our sponsors for this video for helping contribute to letting us get some more eats than we would have normally been able to do. But we really, we've already watched some different reviews from people. We looked at the menus and I think we picked the best things that you can get for your $100. So with that, we also got the blueberry crumble. This looks so yummy. It has a blueberry lemon zest soft serve and blueberry compote. So it has like the blueberry stuff on top. It almost looks like a little like blueberry cheesecake crumble situation.
It does look like there's like a cheesecake in the mix.
That ice cream is so good.
That lemon comes through just like really nice. It's not super tart. The blueberry and lemon is very, very well balanced.
That's a delicious, refreshing, sweet but not too sweet dessert. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for me. We do have another booth to try, but Mickey and Friends is only a 15-minute wait, so we might go hop in line for that.
think you need to give. Oh, when she comes back, you need to do the same for Minnie. A whole bouquet. There you go. I think she'll like that. I heard that you gave her some beignets. Do you have any extra? He's gonna go find some.
Gonna find us one. Oh my goodness! Have you been planting your own gardens and picking the flowers?
Mickey said that he's gonna plant you a topiary.
Love it. We'll snap a picture. That wasn't too bad of a wait. I think it was probably a good 10-15 minute, which to be able to knock out Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy, like do all three of those characters at the same time, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's really nice because you can meet 3 characters and you only have to technically wait 1 round. We are now kind of, I think, gonna make our way in the World Showcase. It is about 11:30, so we wanted to hit up some of the food booths before those lines get astronomically long in the afternoon. But before we do that, we're gonna hit up one free thing that you can do, hopefully.
Hopefully, as long as they don't run out. It looks like they're still doing it.
Yes.
Strawberry. Ooh, can I do raspberry, please? Thank you.
Can I do raspberry as well?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So currently we are in the middle, spine in between World Celebration and World Showcase. And if you remember last year, they did a peanut butter and jelly garden, which was super cute. And then they were giving out free Uncrustables. Well, they are doing free Uncrustables again this year. They do have an Uncrustables sponsored play area, which we'll show you guys a little bit later. But you can get yourself a free Uncrustable. Now, there are some rules with this.
It's only select days. It's
Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
They start at 11 a.m. and then they basically go until they run out.
You'll look for this cart right here, and once they run out in that cart, they're out. So you are going to want to probably make sure you hit here pretty close to 11 if you can. They had raspberry this year, which I'm excited about. They also had grape and strawberry. So there you go.
But now we're gonna actually head into World Showcase.
And eat some more food. Next up, we hit up Brunchcot, which is over by Test Track, but we walked over here to the Odyssey so we can stand in some shade. We got the cinnamon roll bites with candied bacon. Now, I feel like they change the recipe for these every year. The very, very first year that we had them, they were amazing because they had the filling on the inside. Now they just do more the drizzle on the outside. This year, they almost kind of look like a cronut a little bit. So they're super duper flaky. Hopefully they taste as good as I remember. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are super flaky, but they're not dry at all. That cream cheese frosting is delicious, and I like the bacon. It gives it a little more unique flavor. Mark Allen is gonna die when he tries this.
My only complaint with these already is that there's not a lot of bacon or cream cheese on here, but hopefully the flavor makes up for that. It does.
They're so good.
They're so light and pillowy. It's giving a cinnamon roll beignet.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what this actually really reminds me of? If you've ever had the cinnamon roll bites from Sonic, it's like that. But there's no filling. There's no filling, which honestly, it doesn't need it. The cream cheese frosting is really sweet enough that it doesn't need anything on the inside.
I like the cronutty type of texture.
Yeah.
I feel like that was an improvement.
Yeah, it's really crispy on the outside, but soft and pillowy on the inside. Perfection.
That crunch. I almost made it all the way without spilling. They're very full. Yeah! Those cinnamon rolls were very delicious, but they were very, very rich. So we've got a nice little flight to wash it down. We are in the Odyssey building, so this is the Citrus Blossom booth. So all things citrus orange bird. It's very cute in here. If you've watched any of our videos in the past, you know I am not a beer drinker. I do love ciders, and this one had a kind of a mix, and it had some interesting flavors. That's usually what we look for when we get a flight, is we want something that has a little more of an interesting flavor. So this one has a orange blossom hard cider, a yuzu rice lager, which I'm curious to try because we recently did a collaboration with Rupee beer, which it's a rice-based beer, and I liked that. So I'm curious to see what I think of that. And then there's a lemon meringue blonde fruit beer, which I feel like is going to be more of a beer, so he may like it, but I don't know. All right, I'm going cider first.
Do you want me to try it first just to...
No, I'm good with a cider. I should like the cider. That's good.
Orange blossom?
It's just nice and refreshing. It's just a refreshing cider. I wouldn't say it's like overly orangey, but it's just a good cider.
Yeah, it's just a good cider. I don't get... The orange comes kind of in on the back end, but...
Yeah, I like that one. So this is the yuzu rice lager. It smells terrible.
Nope.
Oh my... Ugh. No, that's bad.
Oh, I don't even like that.
That's gross. That like tastes like rice.
I mean, I'm going to drink them because we paid money for them.
I'm not drinking that one. That one's gross. Okay, so then this is the fruit beer. So it's a lemon meringue blonde fruit beer. That's an interesting flavor. Okay.
I don't hate that.
It's really sweet for a beer.
It's almost like it's borderline pushing a sour.
Yes, I would, yeah.
It's like if you mix like a sour and a cider. Like it has like the refreshingness of a cider.
It's very tart.
It's really tart, and I think that's from the lemon.
I don't hate that though. Look at that. 2 for 3.
It's a little too tart for me, but it's pretty good. Would I recommend it?
I would recommend this. Like if you just want a nice cider, this was good.
And also because we care about the planet here, you can recycle the card, the cardboard box, and all your cups. It's all 100% recyclable. So save the earth, kids. We came back inside the Odyssey with our food from Jardin de Fiestas because there was approximately 0 tables. In fact, negative tables because people were eating on the trash cans. So, pro tip, if you're looking for a table, come back inside here and there's scads of them. But we have the Oaxacan Sweetheart. It's Dos Hombres, Reposado Mezcal, lemon juice, orange blossom honey, and a pollen salt rim. So, if you didn't heed my advice earlier, there's even pollen on the drink. I love the presentation of this because it has honey. It's kind of frozen because it was sitting right on the ice, but let's give this a go. That's really good. If you like mezcal, I think you'll really enjoy this. I'm not a huge fan of mezcal, but I like that there's like honey and like the sweetness of it does balance the mezcal for me a little bit. I really enjoy this. To me, mezcal tastes like how Rome burning smells on Spaceship Earth. That's how, and that's all I associate with mezcal, and so I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I think I would recommend it if you are a fan of mezcal. And next up is the Choco Flan. It's layered traditional Mexican flan and chocolate cake with toasted walnuts for $6.50. By the way, the Oaxacan Sweetheart was $14.75. That is worth noting that the margaritas from Mexico are usually pretty expensive. Oh, that is so good. I think you're going to like this. Kayla doesn't like flan because it's usually like a really weird texture. This is so light and fluffy, and the cake is moist. I know I just freaked some of you out by saying that word. And the cake is
Moist?
If you've never tried flan before, I think this is definitely a must get. It's not super rich either, so even on a hot day, I would still recommend this.
We actually did change up a little bit of what we had planned for food. We were gonna get the conch fritters over at CommuniCore, but we tried this tostada last night and it was so freaking good that I was like, maybe we should get this instead again. It's delicious. It is like $11, but I feel like it's a pretty large thing, like it's a large portion, and it's so tasty. I need you to hear this crunch. Delicious. Let's see what I think of this flan. That is really good. It's very caramely, and I think the chocolate cake helps with that flan texture. I think if it was just the flan, I would not like it, but the cake with the flan, that's pretty good. Ooh, and with that, my tummy is quite full, ready for a food break. Luckily, our next booth is not until La Isla Fresca, which is over kind of between Morocco and France. So now it is time to go and enjoy World Showcase. We're gonna do a little bit of shopping, hopefully catch some live entertainment, maybe meet some characters. So enjoy this fun little montage of World Showcase. We had to be all dressed up for Flower and Garden Festival. Did you see the beautiful orchid garden? While you're walking around World Showcase, you are of course going to want to look out for the beautiful character topiaries. They are scattered all throughout World Showcase and throughout the front of the park. But I also encourage you to make sure you take a peek at the different gardens. They have a ton of specialty gardens scattered throughout World Showcase too, like this really cool bonsai tree garden. If you're coming and visiting for the festival, you're probably going to want some fun souvenirs to celebrate. They do have a whole line of festival-specific merch, and since this is the 30th anniversary, they even have some special items for that. You are going to find the majority of the festival merch over in the Creation Shop. However, they are going to have little booths like this scattered throughout World Showcase that will also have some of those items. I have found that, like, if you're looking for pins, these have actually been more stocked than some of those main gift shops. There are 3.5 different collections. You've got the Alice in Wonderland, which I'm not an Alice girl like at all, but this stuff is really, really pretty. They also have an Orange Bird collection, of course, and then they also have Spike the Bee. The half collection is the pass holder. There's a shirt, a mug, and a hat. They have like a Mickey topiary. They are pretty fun too.
We've done deep dive tours of a lot of country pavilions here at Epcot, and Italy is next on our filming list. And in case you're wondering where that video is and why we haven't filmed it, that's why.
We've made it most of the way around World Showcase, and we stopped at La Isla Fresca, which is like the Encanto booth pretty much. It's located between Morocco and France. We originally were only going to get the chicken, but we ended up getting all of the food items because they just sound really good, and I've heard good things. So I'm starting out with the ceviche. This is actually a little bit bigger portion than I thought that it would be, so I am pleased because this is an $8 dish. But it does look quite yummy. It's got shrimp and scallops and a whole bunch of other stuff in there. That's really good. Mark Allen would hate this. I'm not even gonna make him try it because it is very like fishy, but the flavor in this is really good. It's very refreshing, and there's a lot of fish in here too, so yeah, I like that. That's approved.
This is the Jamaican jerk chicken with pigeon pea rice, roasted sweet plantains, and cinnamon butter. I'm gonna try the chicken first. Oh, this feels like cold.
Cold?
Like the chicken is cold. That's really good. You're gonna love that. It's not warm. Like, it's been sitting out. but there's some really, really good spices on it, like flavor spice, but it does have a little bit of a kick to it too. Not like crazy. When we were doing our research and development, we were trying the spicy chicken gumbo at Magnolia Terrace in America. That was spicy. That was way spicier than this. All right, now I'm gonna try this plantain. Get a little bit of rice. I love plantains, by the way. They're so good when they're fried like this. I think the plantains were what had the cinnamon butter on it. It gives it some nice like sweetness from the plantain, and then you get that cinnamon. It almost gives me like apple pie a little bit in the best way. And we have another choco flan situation. Is this going to be the one in Mexico? I don't know. This one also had coconut. It's chocolate cake, coconut custard, and passion fruit caramel. The coconut and passion fruit sounded really, really good. I don't know if you're going to like the texture of this. It's a lot more dense than the one in Mexico. I remember not. The flavor is good. The texture is absolutely awful. Get the one in Mexico. I think the thing about the flan that I don't like about it is that the flan itself is very light and airy, and then the cake on the bottom is very dense.
It's very fudgy on the bottom.
And so you get kind of these competing textures, and like one wants to be the star and it doesn't work.
And it doesn't really let any of the flavors shine through. I don't know. It's just not I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not a bad dish. It's just weird. But this chicken, delicious. Ceviche, also delicious.
I will not be trying the ceviche.
I don't want to share that one anyway. It's okay.
We all know how the scallops went this morning. I think, in my opinion, it doesn't beat Mexico, though.
No. I think Mexico
really,
is
really
definitely a little better, but it was still very good. So now we're going to go ride Remy. It is about 4:05. We have to go meet up for our tea tour at 4:45. And you're probably thinking, you guys are crazy. You think you're gonna get done with Remy? Yeah, watch me. So they have this really cool thing called Single Rider. So the purpose of Single Rider is to basically fill in empty seats. So the ride vehicles for Remy sits 3 to a row. So if there's a party of 2, they'll have an empty seat. So the single riders are gonna fill those empty seats. So the nice thing about single rider is that usually it is a little bit shorter of a wait. Since you're not waiting in like the normal line, there's not gonna be as many single riders because you are splitting up with your party. So Mark Allen and I will not be riding together.
We might just happen to get lucky and potentially like somehow be in the same car, but the likelihood of that happening is probably slim to none. So don't bank on that happening.
So this strategy is really only going to be good if A, you are okay with splitting up with your party, and if you have kids in your group, they need to be old enough to be able to ride by themselves. The last time we looked, it said Remy was
75. I just saw it on the sign.
75. Oh, so 75 minutes. We'll see how long single rider takes. Final wait?
About 25, 26 minutes.
That's not bad. That's a lot better than 75 minutes. So like I said, this is going to be a better strategy for smaller groups and those who have children who are all over the age of 7. Because again, you will be riding by yourself. Mark Allen and I were in totally different cars. Luckily, we were in the same set of cars, so we got on and off at the same time, but we were not in the same vehicle. So you do need to keep that in mind if you want to do single rider. But it is now 4:45, so we need to go to the UK Pavilion right now because our tea tour starts in 15 minutes. Show me your sticker. Wow. Boom.
5 p.m. tea tour.
Today we're going to explore the tea garden and all the different things in it. We're going to learn about the origins of tea, and we have all the different herbs, plants and flowers. They're in different blends throughout the teas. Start off with, Twinings originated in 1706 as Tom's Coffee House in London. Are you thinking coffee? What? That is because at the time coffee was more popular than tea, so it was later renamed to be Twinings of London Tea Shop. Still to this day, the store is still there. So it is a very small store. If you go in, you'd have to walk like this. If you went like this, you would knock all the merchandise off the shelves. That is because during that time, whenever you're purchasing stores, it was by tax by width. So Richard Twinings went cheapest store, best store. So it's still that small, but if you go in, you get all the different unique blends, and I definitely recommend visiting whenever you're there. So Twinings has over 500 different tea varieties across the world, with over 50 here in the US. We're going to go through all of them today. No, we've got 12. So I think we did all 500 to be here for years. Does anyone know what tea is or where it comes from?
Plants.
Yeah, that's correct. So it comes from a Camellia sinensis plant, which is part of the Camellia family. Camellias grow in many people's back gardens. You might even have them in your gardens and not know. So Camellia sinensis is an evergreen plant. It is native to East Asia and it has small white and pink flowers. So it can grow up to 32 to 50 feet high in the wild. For reference, 50 feet is the same drop on Tiana's Bioventure, so it can grow that high. After it's plucked, it is then processed, and this process will distinguish the different types of tea. So we have black, white, green and oolong teas. They all come from the Camellia sinensis plant. The only difference is in how they are processed after the fact.
That was so fun.
That was awesome.
I loved that. I learned so much. I never knew that many things about tea. I mean, I love tea and I'm a tea drinker, but I had no idea. Like, honestly, I didn't even know that all tea was made from like a specific kind of plant.
I'm not gonna lie, as fascinating as it was, it will still not convert me to being a primary tea drinker. Coffee is the way to go for me.
I am very curious to try that cold brew tea though. That sounds so cool. And what's really fun is they gave us some little tea bags. What flavors did we get? We got a jasmine green tea, and I think these are all flavors that we talked about
I think so.
on the tour. There is a peach and orange and an Earl Grey lavender. Ooh, yum. Those all sound so great.
They do.
This tour was free. We didn't have to pay for it. And like I mentioned earlier, if you are not able to get signed up for the guided tour, they have a self-guided tour too. You just go ask the cast members inside the tea shop. They'll give you a little brochure and it has kind of a similar information, and you can just kind of go around and look at the different ones. You go return your map to the cast member and then you get a single tea bag. So still very, very fun.
I really liked that, the fact that it feels very old school Epcot with the edutainment aspect of it. And the fact that this was free. Granted, we did have to get here really early, sign up for it, but to me, it was completely worth it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I loved that. It was only about a 20-minute tour,
yeah.
So it's very doable to add to your day. Very, very doable. Not super long at all. So worth it in my opinion.
Whew. It is a little people-y. We are officially leaving the UK Pavilion. I think we're going to hit up maybe some more food.
Yeah, we need to go finish getting all our food booths, and then we have a few more rides to finish out the night.
It is currently about almost 5:40.
So we have 3 hours.
Think we'll manage to get everything done on our list?
We shall see.
Honestly, what's really slowed us down today is the food lines. As you can tell around us, it's quite busy. It's the first weekend of the festival, which truly brings out flocks and flocks of people. So is this our own fault? Yes, but the reason we're doing this today is honestly to kind of show you realistically what the crowds are probably going to look like. Granted, they won't always be like this, but just setting your expectations appropriately. Next on our food journey is Refreshment Port near Canada. We got the Provence Poutine. It's herbs de Provence seasoned French fries, goat brie, lavender honey, hazelnut croquant, and fresh lavender. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is missing perhaps the lavender. It looks really good though. You can tell that it's definitely brie. I wish it was maybe slightly more melty. I'm not gonna lie, my expectations for this are quite low. Wow, that's amazing. It's not like goat cheese in the traditional sense. It definitely has the texture more of brie, but it's like a cross between brie and goat cheese. It's really hard to explain. I really like the sweetness of the honey. It kind of balances everything out. It just works. I don't know how to explain it.
We made it over to the walkway between the Imagination Pavilion and World Showcase. These are the 2 brand new booths this year, the Yacht Grub and Beach Grub. Yes, they are themed after the resorts, and they even have a brand new play area over here too. I am not gonna lie, I think it's great that there's a playground and places for kids to play. I am not a fan of the fact that they got rid of almost all of the tables and seatings that were over here, especially when you have so many booths. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. For food, we got the grilled street corn, which is an absolute must every year. This is one of my favorite things. This is actually all plant-based, so the cheese that's on here is cheese. It's like a plant-based cheese, and this is part of the garden graze. We kind of forgot to mention that today. Basically, this is the food stroll for this festival. If you get 5 of the items that are qualifying, you can get like a prize, like a complimentary little prize treat. I think this year it's essentially like a Dole Whip swirl or something similar, but I want to give this corn a try. That is always so good. It's garlicky, it's grilled really nicely. That cheesy stuff is so good. This is a must. It's basic, but this is a must.
We had to get, this is probably like the thing of the festival this year, is this s'mores popsicle, s'mores bar, s'mores brownie. It's a s'mores on a stick. There we go. S'mores on a stick. It's good. Honestly, my recommendation, if you're wanting to try this, just go to Regal Eagle and get the s'mores brownie, because it's basically the same thing, and I guarantee you the line won't be nearly as long. From Yacht Grub, we got the sparkling cocktail flight. It's an elderflower sparkling cocktail, a lemon sparkling cocktail, and an orange sparkling cocktail. Each features sparkling wine, Seagrams, and then some sort of alcohol. In the one, it's Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, and the other one, it's limoncello, and the other one, it's Aperol. So it's basically like an Aperol spritz. I'm gonna try the elderflower. That one's a little heavy on the Seagrams. It kind of tastes like Pine Sol. And then this is the Aperol spritz, basically. I like that one. The Aperol spritz is the best one. The other two, the limoncello, it tastes really artificial. I don't love that. From Pineapple Promenade, we got not the violet lemonade, we got the violet lemonade ale. It
sounded intriguing. That was a fun little mix. So the violet lemonade is it's kind of like a little slushy. It's a little purple slushy, and it's very good. It's very sweet. But this seemed like a fun mix-up.
This is not new, but it's new to us. We've never tried this before.
It smells really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if I like it. Probably not, but I wouldn't say I like it. You can taste the violet lavender.
The violet lemonade.
Violet lemonade.
That's really good.
Wait, is it violet lemonade?
It's violet lemonade. Violet lemonade ale.
Violet lemonade ale. You can taste that.
It's definitely not like sweet like the violet lemonade slushy.
It tastes like a beer.
Yeah, but
you can taste the flavors.
Yeah, you can.
That's why I didn't make a face. It's got a pretty gross aftertaste, but
I mean, it's got an ale aftertaste, but
with that, it is 6:59. We have 2 hours till park close. These are the things we need to get done: Spaceship Earth, Figment, Frozen, and Guardians. Can we do it in 2 hours? I think we can, but Markella needs to chug that, and we need to go. Chug it. I mean, you don't actually have to chug it. We can walk and drink it.
I think I'm mostly just impressed that we've done all of what we've done so far today, and we have not used Lightning Lane.
I will feel more proud of myself if we get these 4 rides done.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a straight walk on.
Welcome to our special drive-through open house. Hello. Who is this?
It's Figment! One sparkling light can light your fancy.
She must be captured and controlled.
Let the good times roll! Woo! Upside down, now you're talking. That's the best idea you had all day. With just that spark from me and you.
One ride down, 3 more to go. On to the next. Mark Allen had to swap the fuel rod, but it got jammed, so I had to call. But she said that machine is jammed, so we gotta hurry and go to the one under Spaceship Earth. At least we're headed that direction anyway.
Yep, it's fine.
Normally, if you swap your fuel rod and it doesn't dispense or it has an issue, you just call a number on the machine. It's usually super easy. We're on a time crunch right now.
The other attraction that I don't think that we're going to have time for is going to be Moana, A Journey of Water, which just kind of goes to show that, yes, I think you can do all of Epcot on a festival day in one day. There's going to be things that you aren't going to be able to do.
You're going to have to pick and choose what's most important to you. And that's going to go with any festival. All right, shout out to lovely Denise at the fuel rod help desk. She got me my fuel rod. We're set and ready to go. However, this is where we have to also talk again about being flexible with your plan and having priorities and focusing on your priorities and all of that good jazz. We are here at Spaceship Earth. This line is a little longer than I like, and this is a very long ride. It is 7:24, so we have an hour and a half till park close. I really want to make sure we hit Frozen, and I really want to make sure we have enough time to get over to Guardians right before park close. So I think we are also going to skip Spaceship Earth for tonight. Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles. It's okay, but we did poll a lot of you guys on Instagram when we were making our plan, and Frozen was definitely one of the things that you absolutely wanted us to do. So that is why we are focusing and prioritizing that. So I think we're gonna head over to Norway, hop on Frozen, and fingers crossed, get on Guardians before park close. As we told you guys earlier in the video, earlier today, we are not using multi-pass. If being able to ride all of the attractions is an absolute must for you, and you want to be able to make sure you have plenty of time with buffer and everything, multi-pass is going to be a really good investment of your money. However, for us, since we are local, my goal is to show you how to do this the least expensive way possible, and just know you can only go up from here. If you're wanting to learn more about doing the parks with multi-pass and Standby Skipper, which I do recommend if you're using multi-pass because it makes it way more worth the money, I will have a full video all about that linked in the description box below.
I'll be out in a minute.
All right, butt check. I don't know if you can really see, it's kind of dark. Do a butt check. Okay.
It's a little bit.
Mine, you can probably really tell. Well, that was the longest hour of my life. We aren't gonna go into that. It's fine, we rode the ride. We've got 12 minutes to get over to Guardians. Do you think we'll make it?
I think so.
We're gonna go walk over by Odyssey Way, where it's less people-y.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't know if Frozen was having some downtime or what the deal was, but it was a posted 50 minutes. We waited just over an hour, so that definitely took longer than we anticipated.
Which means skipping Spaceship Earth was probably a good call.
Yeah, 100% agree, because we would definitely not have been able to do Guardians like what we're doing.
Okay, time to hustle. And the final thing that we're doing tonight is what we like to call reverse rope drop. Now, if you've been following us for a while, we've done this with a few different attractions. Guardians of the Galaxy just recently came off a virtual queue, which means it's standby only, or you can purchase that Lightning Lane single pass. We are not spending our money for that stuff today, so this is kind of my little strategy hack whatever you want to call it. You can get in line for an attraction up to 1 minute before park close. Right now it's 8:56, so we've got a couple minutes to hop in line. Don't let the wait time scare you. Right now it says 85 minutes and the line does look pretty long, but once the park closes, Lightning Lane is no longer a thing. And so the line is gonna move a lot faster than it would earlier in the day.
We've made it to the IKEA Lighting showroom. We've only been in line for 21 minutes.
Today. That wait was not too bad. We only waited about 30 minutes till we got to the pre-show. It is 9:53. We made it back to the front of the park. So I think today was pretty successful.
I would agree. Considering that we didn't technically rope drop anything and we didn't use any single pass or multi-pass at all.
We did pretty good. So when you are planning your visit to the festival, the biggest thing to remember is that you need to prioritize the things that you want to do the most. Make a list and make it yourself at least a rough itinerary of those things that you really, really want to do so you can focus on hitting those. Anything else you can fit in, I always say, is a bonus. And if you can't, oh well, at least you hit the things that you really wanted to do. But we do want to say a really big thank you to all of our sponsors for this video. We were able to try a lot of yummy eats and we honestly would not have been able to do it without them. So thank you to Melina, Melissa, Aaron, Nadia, Terry, and Loka. Thank you guys. We really do appreciate it.
And Kayla's grandma.
And my grandma. She also gave us some money to spend at the festival today. If you are interested in sponsoring a snack or a food or activity or whatever for a future video, the link with more information on how to do that is in the description box below. Of course, we never expect it, but it is truly appreciated and it does really help us to be able to do what we do.
I know that this video was a little bit different. Let us know in the comments if you want to see this for future festivals here at Epcot and what you found most helpful.
Make sure you are subscribed for more content, and that is all we have for you guys today. Now go create your ever after.